Hello, we're hoping to add Natasha to our chat for all of your pregnancy fitness questions. We're very excited to have Natasha back. Hi, yes, it's worked. So, fifth time lucky.
I'm glad we stuck with it.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, we've obviously been chatting to you for both of your pregnancies, and your oldest is now 7. So, we've seen your whole pregnancy fitness journey and how you are balancing, you know, being a fit mum of 1 and now being a fit mum of 2 and being a single fit mum. So, your advice is not, um, is very realistic for people in all circumstances. And you can see the long term benefits that you've had from being active throughout and making sure that it's finding ways to keep it fun and so it's an enjoyable stress relief, but also like as something that can keep you sane and grounded in yourself. So yes, I'm very happy to be chatting to you again today. So thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for your patience of me logging in. It's always so excited to. It feels really nice to see you, and I think it's really important in your pregnancy and fitness journey. When you look back of the pictures of the photo shoot we did, and looking back, and you've got a 7-year-old, and you're like, oh, I had a 7-year-old in my tummy. They're really important and joyful. Those pictures.
Oh my goodness! And then to see, you know, I take so many photos, uh, and when you look back, and it is such a great way of being back in those moments and remembering what it felt like to be pregnant, because it feel like such a distant memory, and then and to give yourself so much credit for how far you've come as well, because it's so easy just to be like, oh, I don't look like I did when I was 22, but actually when you're balancing and mumhood and your life, and then and to remember to how fast it goes, and if you don't enjoy it and try and like
And
be
I it's something that I say to mums on. Both of my children love looking at my pregnancy pictures and seeing their like how they think about I was in there. And if I show them the bump and go, that was you as a bump, they love looking at them and being like,
Oh,
me
so
inside my
cute.
tummy. So I think it's a really good thing to take lots of pictures, watch that bump grow and be really proud of it, because it is that thing of your body's amazing. Our
Mm.
female bodies do incredible things of how they can grow a baby, and then what happens afterwards as it heals and everything goes back into shape.
Yeah, and you can and yes, it's changed, but it doesn't mean it's not as good. It's just different.
Yes.
And and then if all going well, you can also feed them from your body for exclusively for months.
Yes.
So, yes, that's right. I'm in the middle of it at the moment. My baby is now 5 weeks old and does a lot of feeding.
See, and it's those bits you forget, Alex, so quickly of like, oh, I've forgotten about being mummy cow and going back into the gym and having breast milk kind of squirting out over my gym top, going back to work, all those really glamorous things, and the
Yeah.
white stuff on your shoulder. It's like all the best personal trainers have white stuff on their shoulder, obviously.
Well, it means that you can give the best advice because you know you're truly living it. All the qualifications are, really beneficial, but unless you actually know what it's like to be really sleep deprived and craving all of the sugar and the caffeine to keep you going, it's not the same. Your advice is very different once you're actually in that moment. So I
Yes.
think, I think it's so valuable because for you now that you've got a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, you can really see those long-term benefits of being active throughout your pregnancies and your postnatal recovery. So,
And and
what are some of
interestingly,
those
Alex,
benefits?
some of mine of having to go back to work quite early as a single mum. I've always had my children with me in the gym. I went back to work with the baby on the floor in the gym. I have got pictures of Belle in a baby carrier, and I've got a 2-year-old at my feet, and I'm teaching a fitness class. That must have been really hard, mustn't it? But I've had lots of feedback of this, of those mummy and baby classes that happen sort of after. I've got some incredible athletes that have come out of that class, that feeding those positive message of mum exercising, it being fun, being with her friends, the social aspects of it. I think especially now coming out of lockdown, any mums, however
Yeah.
you work, of whether you bring your children with them, just having that chat, getting as much of the workout in as you can in pre and postnatal is so important.
Yes. And just to make it work, everyone's understanding. Nobody, we're all doing the same thing. We're juggling the same juggle.
Yes, and I think as we've gone on to these Zooms and Facebook Lives, my clients have had to be so patient. Like, I've had to take Belle to the toilet in the middle of a class. We had a nosebleed in the middle of one of my HIIT classes. I was talking on Zoom. I had a rabbit biting me at some point. I had a rabbit attack in one of my classes. But I think some of that, mums strive for perfectionism and they don't get their workouts in because they're waiting for that perfect moment of when two babies are asleep, they're waiting for childcare. And I think it's a really big thing of not getting it done because you're waiting for that perfect workout time, and in actual fact there isn't one, because you've got to do it with the children there and work round them, work round the Lego, work round the space, take them with you, put them in the buggy. And that's where I think my voice and my experience is. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, every child to be okay, you don't get it done.
No, it's really good advice and something that I definitely will take forward, because I keep thinking, right, this evening, and then by the time the evening comes, I'm so tired.
You're exhausted, Alex. It was never going to happen in the evening.
Like, choose your window when you've got most energy. I think that's the most perfect time.
It is. Also, as you're saying, I would say that this is a really common one. I encourage everybody to get their workouts done as early as possible in the morning. And I think especially as a mum and somebody like yourself that's 5 weeks in, mum, you're going to be tired and you're going to be exhausted. And you're better off just putting your gym kit on first thing in the morning. It's going to be when you're the most, where you and your children are the calmest, you're the freshest, and I think you're most likely to get it done.
That's really.
That in lockdown, I'd made it to 4 o'clock before. Like when I was filming workouts, I was aiming to do it at 7. Those mummy things happened. It was 4 before I got it done, but at least I still got it done. Like at some point.
Well, and we designed our latest range of clothes to be something that you could just wear all day and then not get changed, get into your workout, whatever, or do your workout, and then if you don't have a chance to get changed, it's all everyday activewear to just workout. As long as you don't feel like you want to get changed, you don't have to. It just looks like they're really flattering as well. They make your bum look so sculpted. That's so important.
I think it's so important. And I think with all of this of being that female personal trainer, the clothing designer, it's because we've had children. That's why it resonates and it works. Because that's another barrier, isn't it? Of having to get changed, having to put your gym kit on. Is another thing that you've got to do when there's a million things and the baby needs feeding and that one needs to go to the toilet, taking that time to get dressed. So that's why I've always said, get up, put your gym kit on, do the school nursery run in your gym kit. It's actually a very LA thing. I lived in LA for 5 years, and everyone wanders around in their gym kit in LA. I don't know why in the UK it's not quite normal yet, is it? Branding, every day gym wear.
Exactly. Oh, and in terms of like, if you were going to say the top 3 benefits aside from the obviously better health and feeling more in control of your body, what other benefits for staying active during pregnancy would you, if you're talking to someone, if you're trying to convince them?
So I think there is still quite a lot of fear out there of people being nervous of exercising during pregnancy, and however much work we have done in the last 7 years saying it's safe, it's beneficial, all of the taglines of going that when you have a baby and give birth, you're burning as many calories as running a marathon, and would you go into that without training, and all the things that we post of like, you've got to keep doing this is so important. I still hear when I'm out meeting pregnant mums, oh, is it safe? Is my baby going to be okay? So my first reassurance is It's so safe. Keeping your weight under control, stopping pregnancy conditions like gestational diabetes. Some of the complications of putting on so much weight can be controlled. Sort of bad back pain, the stress on your hips and your knees, that if you can stay active. And for me, it's a lot of the myths as well. People used to say that you needed to eat for two, and we now know you only towards the end need an extra kind of 500 calories a day. And when you're breastfeeding, you don't need to be eating extra calories. And what you want to be doing is eating the most healthy, nutritious food that you possibly can. And so the more you're active, the more that your heart is strong, the more you can keep your weight down. It's going to help with, just kind of the pain, the joint. And my other big one is mental health. We've all had such a stressful year. I feel that it's been completely impossible not to be stressed in the last year. And the mums have had it the worst. The ones with older children, we've been dealing with homeschool, anxiety. I think even having partners at home trying to work while there are children around. Like every mum I speak to is so stressed. So I really, really encourage people. So there's a physical benefit that you're going to feel better, have more energy, be able to sleep better. Hopefully, I know sleeping when you're pregnant is often hard. Anyway, that's what she says. Joint pain, muscle pain, having a stronger core, being able to have an easier labour. Hopefully as well, that if you've got strong pelvic floors, strong pelvic core muscles, it should help with labour. And then my big one is just resonating out of lockdown. It's mental health. You're going to feel better, feel more body positive, have more energy. So they are my big ones that you've just got to keep going. And I think one of mine, I've just posted a video today. I've got a killer stair workout on a Friday. It's a really hardcore class that I've been teaching outside on the steps.
Sounds horrendous.
I've got, well, it's kind of horrendous and amazing. You're a runner. Yeah. It's outside. It's beautiful. We're on the beach. And one of my team is pregnant, so she's going to be our poster model of. I was thinking of you. I was like, Alex is going to love this. She's running like pregnant along the beach with the hardcore team, and I was like, you are our ambassador of what pregnancy should look like.
And you feel so much stronger and in control of it. So yes. It's well, I look forward to watching your killer stair workout update.
And I think, as we were talking about, she came to class today going, oh my God, I've had no sleep. My 1-year-old isn't sleeping. I've been up all night, but I just had to get here because I needed to see you guys. And I just needed to do this for me. And I think that's always the bit that I'm selling of. Just do something for yourself, take that mummy break, be selfish, and then you can go back with a clear, calm, zen mummy. Yes.
Your kids want a happy mum, not a stressed out, but always there mum. Like,
yes.
It's good for everyone to remember that you're your own person outside of your relationship to your kids. So,
yes.
The most important thing, but you've also got to look after yourself.
And those breaks are important for everybody. Like, you come back fresher, calmer, and just with more patience again.
We all need that.
Yes. She said.
Well, being single mumhood is not an easy walk in the park. But
it's added juggles, and but I think every mum is doing that, and some of it is how you're. I think some of it is how you were brought up, and some of it is prioritising, as you just touched on. If mum doesn't feel okay, if mum doesn't feel well, that resonates with the whole family. It resonates with your patience and your sleep and your health and how you feel about yourself.
And what you're modelling for your kids, and what they'll, what they need to see those healthy role models, however that looks.
Yes, that you don't have to just be doing everything for your children, because you need to survive this. You need to be okay. You need to be well, in a good positive state, because they test you constantly.
Yeah,
argue with you when you're 7. You're not quite at that stage yet.
No, and then you realise you created a little miniature version of yourself, and it's a little bit of karma.
The argues and questions everything because they're really smart, which is a good thing.
But also testing.
Testing. Which is why you need patients to go and work out and go and find the other mummies, whether they're online, whatever works for you. There's lots of options out there. But I think that togetherness is really important, of finding your tribe.
Yeah, that community, which has been so missed in lockdown.
Yes. Those postnatal, those classes.
We've definitely seen a big uplift in the number of questions that we've been sent, a lot of direct messages of things, because people don't have access to the classes, and which is why it's so great to be able to do these videos, talk to you and be able to get some expert feedback. So, so one of the questions that we've had is around, is from somebody who's in their second trimester, and she's just so lacking in energy and motivation, and struggled in her first trimester, and now she's got that all clear to work out, but wanting to some quick, easy exercises, quick ways to get off the sofa and get it done. So anything that you would recommend just to kind of kickstart that healthy activity habit again?
So my top tips are, we touched on it a bit, but not putting it off and starting somewhere. I also think as a mum, you need to schedule your workout. So have an ask around what people are doing. I think classes and groups are really good because they create accountability. And so I think you have to make a plan. You have to schedule it in, just like it's a doctor's appointment, an eye appointment, a dentist, that we don't miss those, and yet we do tend to miss out our workout. So I would actually pick something, find that fitness class. Are they joining the gym? Take those steps to do it. Are they finding a set of workouts that are online, of which we have got you workouts on your website? But I think you need to plan it. You need to get your space ready. You need to set up, are you going to do the workout on your big TV if you're doing a home workout? Does your phone pair? So I think all of it takes preparation, and not to be too hard on yourself. It doesn't happen the first time, because I know even with home fitness workouts, there's a challenge to that, isn't there, when you've got children? Because by the time I've moved the coffee table, moved the Lego, the Sylvanian family rabbits, and hoovered, because I move through it and go, oh my goodness, like you actually have to prepare your space. Is there a separate space you can go to? And then my other thing would be, that if it has been sort of 3 months since you've exercised, pick something that's not too daunting. So think about what you like doing. I think people often go, oh, I've got to go and work out. Oh, I hate boot camp, and so I really hate that. Well, if you hate boot camp, then go onto YouTube or find a dance fitness workout that you like. Go and try a yoga class. Even go somewhere lovely and have a walk. Like take the car and drive out. But make it somewhere nice and somewhere pleasurable, that kind of, if you live in central London, like if you live somewhere that's not particularly pretty, actually take that time and go, do you know something? My bit of exercise is going to be something joyful. I know there's a pretty park. I know there's an open space. And actually make it something joyful and positive that doesn't feel like exercise.
It doesn't feel like a chore.
Yes, yes. And I think some people, it's that people think that exercise should be something they don't like doing. I know swimming's really hard right now. But that used to be those aqua classes and swimming. Something that feels joyful and fun to you. So rather than punishing yourself, pick something nice. Is Zumba fun? Put good music on.
Yes, and just make it uplifting and exciting rather than, and I think it can feel really intimidating to start again if you've been having a really tough time of it. My first couple of weeks I was super nauseous, and then it did feel like this big intimidating thing to start, and then once you actually get going, it's just like, oh no way, I love this.
I also think reaching out. So if you're struggling, I also recommend reaching out, because most people are sitting at home going, oh, I wish I'd done my workout today. Our voice of mummies is, you're saying, oh, I keep putting it off at night, and giving me that look down, Alexandra, of like, oh yeah, I think we need to do it as well. But most mums, that is like their situation, and most people know they should be working out, they should have done it, but haven't. So I think my other advice would be to reach out and call somebody else that you know and say, would you like to come for a walk with me? Because again, you've then got an appointment. Saturday. It's then become social. It's then something. And if you have got other children, you have to take them with you. It has to be something that they want to do, that's fun to them. So whether it's, and it may have to have a treat at the end of it. I know my daughter's not a huge fan of walking. I just signed us up to be an ambassador for a 50-mile walk, like doing 50 miles for charity. And she did 0.2 miles and said, I'm done. 0.2. We had the tracker. She was like, I'm done now. This is rubbish. And so I kind of have to play. I had to bribe her that her walk, we have to walk to the park that's got swings in it. And she'll do that. So that works. But she needs an actual reward at the end. But she will walk from a certain point to the park. But there has to be something in it for her. She won't just walk for fun. But I think with mums, maybe there does have to be that tea at the end of it.
Or even just the chance to have a catch up with someone and a bit of a social event. So
conversation, yes. So
we'll be desperate for company.
Yes,
so that just practical advice. It's just just make it work without punishing yourself. So
yes, but you'll be helping someone else. You may be feeling like, if you ask someone and say, would you like to come for a walk with me? Would you like to come to this class? You may feel like you're asking a favour of them, but you'll be doing them a favour. Most people will be grateful of the invitation.
It's true. It's very true. So yes, reach out, make those friends. And
yes.
So, we've had a question around being in the third trimester of like exercise to keep moving, but having to stop doing anything with any impact because of pelvic pain. So any exercises to kind of keep that mobility and strength up, but will keep the pressure off the pelvis.
So in the third trimester, I think that there is a purchase that needs to be made, and I think it's good to buy your birthing ball early. And so I know that I've posted various videos out there, but I think it's time to buy that birthing ball. And with pelvic pain, like hip pain stabilization, just getting used to those birthing ball exercises, sitting on it as much as you can. So with birthing balls, just even sitting on it, it makes you engage your core muscles. It actually feels quite comfortable with pelvic pain. And even simple exercises where you're keeping it under control, rocking side to side, balancing on one leg, they really help with that core stabilization. And coming up and down, and so I would say birthing ball workouts would be a really good one. You've got one on your Fit Mama website.
Yes, we do.
We've got third trimester Fit Mama birthing ball, but I would say that would be your purchase to do. And then most exercises can be done seated. And the seated exercises, I know I've been in trouble many a time with my chair aerobics, and seated classes I think are sometimes harder than boot camp. They're not a snooze workout. And so it is just a matter of really working that core activation. Sort of bar classes can be really good in your third trimester.
We've had a few of those on our IG TV lives. We've done a few pregnancy bar workouts, and we're going to be filming some postnatal ones as well. So lots of easy ones to follow anywhere. Just using a chair for a bar, like you can, bars, you can get by a bar, but you don't need to. You can use a chair or an ironing board, or just something for stability.
And kitchen work surfaces are always the one that's the perfect height for.
I use my baby's high chair, but that'd be a better one.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just got a nice little shelf for my phone to follow my workout. So yes, that's something you can do at home, and they're very low impact and nice all over activation. Just cut down too much jumping. But you can do the workout without leaping. You can just modify.
And hopefully as well, most good instructors, I always try to give a high-low impact of most classes. So hopefully most
Yes, it's not just
instructors.
pregnancy that people have to modify, so it's not
Yes,
something to be worried about. It's better to do a modified workout than no workout.
yes, it is. And so that's definitely something in my classes that I would always try and do a high and a low impact, because I think having gone through 2 C-sections, I'm always very conscious of pelvic floor. So it's not even just in your 3rd trimester, it's something that needs to be nurtured and cared and looked after on the other side. And I would also say that that was a barrier that stops quite a lot of mums working out. And
so that's a very good segue into the next question. So
okay.
if you think, so we have this message all the time. So in terms of easing back into exercise safely. So you're very active pregnancy, recovered postnatally, but then wanting to get back to more impactful exercise like running, cardio. What would be your tips? So once you're, obviously we're talking about reactivating your core and strengthening your pelvic floor is vital. So any way that any advice you would have around that?
So my main advice to a new mum is to take your time, because you can do damage by doing too much too soon. And I would say this is my loudest shout of a new mum that's got a new baby with all the stresses of trying to breastfeed, maybe look after other children, and that juggle is you have got time. I think it's a very emotional time as a mum, that you want to be in your new jeans, you want to be in those old jeans straight away, like your body has been through this huge stressful change. And whether it's social media or us, I don't think we are respectful as women to our bodies. We want it to look like we did when we were 20, and we are not as respectful as we should be too. Our body has just grown a baby. We've just grown a human being, like inside us. It's done this incredible thing, but the sort of physiology of it, everything moves round when you're having a baby. And this is where the post complications can come. That in order to fit a baby in us, our rib cage expands so that you can breathe better. Your organs actually move into different places. And I often think that kind of, you're cleared at 6 weeks to go back into exercise. For most people, I would actually say that was too soon. You can go back to some exercises. You shouldn't be going straight back to boot camp HIIT classes, because it takes time for your organs to go back. And this is definitely one of you saying, I am a mum with that voice. As a single mummy, I went back to work too soon. My second baby, we needed money. I went back to work too soon, and I will put my hand up, and I have regret on that. I have a hernia that you can see if I can breathe out, of where my abdominals had separated and quite a small frame. I had a baby. I didn't take that time to get that to heal, and went back to teaching regular classes and doing planks. So my first mummy message is to breathe, take time, take more rest, start with that lower impact.
Focus on the core, build from the inside out.
And I think for the super fit mummies, the runners, the ones that like that high impact, it's going to be frustrating. They're going to want to do more, but you just need to be aware. Like, your body does tell you that things don't feel right, but I actually recommend keeping low impact for probably 3 or 4 months afterwards.
Maybe stay on that ball, stay doing the seated workouts.
Yes.
And build up from there, and just try to enjoy the process.
For me, it's getting the organs back into place. That your body's had such a huge change, that the damage comes, that you need to do the pelvic floor, the pelvic floor, the kind of lifts, the pulling in tummy exercises for longer than you think you do. And then you'll hit a point at which the weight just comes off. And also, I have a big thing with mummies of It takes 9 months to grow a baby. I feel realistically it takes 9 months for your body to come back to feeling like you. And if that is the time frame it takes, that is okay. It's done something amazing. We don't have to snap back like the celebrities of like, oh, look at me, I popped a baby out, and like, look at me, it's perfect. It's like, that's an Instagram fake story. Or they have nannies and nutritionists and they're not doing nursery runs. And even then, I don't know if that is healthy. It is going to take time. And naturally, as you get a 1-year-old and not a baby, and they don't sit down and you say no every 2 minutes, the weight comes off quite naturally at that point where they start toddling and touching things and touching light bulbs. And you never sit down again for 2 years until they are 4. and it's like the weight will come off then because you won't have sat down.
Yeah, just running on energy, your vapor. So no, I think, and trying to, and taking the other tips of like scheduling that time in the morning, like give yourself half an hour to do those core activation. It's not exciting, but it will help you. You'll be so grateful for that time. Once I started actually going through a program, I followed a program that gave me my incremental growth, and then I felt, my body, I don't look the same as my pre-pregnancy, but I feel strong. I was able to carry my baby for a long time. I was able to feel comfortable going into the next pregnancy. But yeah, I did schedule the time. I got up a bit earlier.
Yes.
Once I worked out when Ben was going to be asleep, and then it was a bit boring at times.
Yes.
I wanted to be doing things with other activities, but I'm so grateful that I did make it work. That advice is incredibly sound.
And Alexandra, I think it's always an interesting one on people don't expect. I've been a 20-year personal trainer, and before I had my children and worked in LA, I worked with lots of celebrities that were in a hurry, that were doing quite brutal workouts of like, they had to be ready for a movie after having their baby. And now I retrained and am a mum myself. I'm not sure I was then working as a 20-year-old personal trainer that was doing the right things to get to a goal. Emotionally, I don't know if I was supporting my clients as I should have been. So,
well, I think we learn a lot over this time, but yeah, I think it's just this evolution in the conversation and our understanding. I think is
and I'm a different voice now. So mummies come to me in a panic, being like, "I've just had a baby 6 months ago. I've put on loads of weight. You've got to fix it." I think they're often surprised at me that I say the weight will come. Let's do pelvic floor. Let's do the core exercises. Let's come for a walk. And they're like, "But I need to lose weight now." And I now say, "No."
Well,
no.
It's so nice to hear that, because I think, and we will make sure that we can direct people to this when we get a lot of messages of people just being quite sad and feeling a bit lost. And I think it changes. You need to change, but it's very easy to be very directed by images in the media, and Instagram does not help it. You can find your tribe on Instagram, but you can also find a lot of destructive imagery that is not going to serve you in any way, make you feel good about being a new mum if you're not living a beautiful life.
Because you're not doing the workout in a G-string bikini. It's actually one of my pet hates, actually, Alex. It's like, is there any need to be doing this workout in a G-string bikini covered in baby oil? Is this really about working out? I don't think it is. So yes, I think, but those images resonate, don't they? Of like these young girls with amazing bodies wearing G-strings covered in baby oil.
Good for you, time and a place, but don't compare yourself with that as a mum. Yes. Especially a new mum. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your time and your positive messages and your incredibly practical tips. I think a lot of people get a lot from this, so thank you.
Yes, and Alex, I think it is up to all our mums to support each other and just remember that our body, we're new mums, we've just grown new human beings, we've done something amazing.
Celebrate that every day, and then do the pelvic floor, and then in 12 weeks you know,
Yeah,
you're doing it.
stop pointing at stretch marks and the bad things. Like, celebrate this beautiful, like, new baby that you've got. But yes,
Yeah.
keep exercising, keep moving, but make it something fun, joyful.
Yes.
And I will try and create one of those on Sunday.
I'm very
Fun, joyful, stress relieving, I think, is my message that I'm going to be doing on Sunday.
perfect. Well, I can't wait to join you.
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much, Tasha. Speaks. Bye.
Okay. Bye.